he's admitting that the United States of America and the United States are two different entities. There's a United States of America, which is the whole jurisdiction of North, South, Central America and the adjoining islands. That's the United States of America. So Brazil's part of that, Peru's part of that, Central America's part of that, all the Caribbean islands are part of that. That's basically United States of America. The United States, without the America attached, is a private corporation that has their head office in England, and they're owned by the Queen. And then Canada's owned by the Queen, and that's why United States and Canada always have relations, because they're agents for the European Inquisitionists that came into these lands in order to find themselves a new home, or somewhere else to dwell on the planet. Because don't think that Europeans don't know this history. That George Washington wrote a letter to the Sultan of Morocco. The first question is, why is George Washington, who's supposedly a representative of the United States of America, which is on this side of the Atlantic, writing a letter to somebody on the other side of the Atlantic about the land on the side of the Atlantic that the other guy is not on? And nobody's not questioning anything? Like, why is he sending that letter to that guy about land that's in a totally different jurisdiction? He's in Morocco, so-called Africa. And George Washington, who's over here, is sending that guy a letter about the North American continent and about sorry for you not receiving those regularly advised marks of attention, which is taxes. Yeah. So how come George Washington is apologizing to this guy over on the other continent and telling him that we didn't pay the taxes for the land? But based on the friendship that you have with us, we know that you're expecting it, but it's coming soon. And then he goes on with, the United States, having unanimously appointed me to supreme executive authority in this nation. So in 1789, the United States, which is the private corporation, appointed George Washington supreme executive authority. This is 1789. Your Majesty's letter of August 17, 1788, which by reason of the dissolution of the late government remained unanswered, has been delivered to me. I have also received the letters which your Imperial Majesty has been so kind as to write in favor of the United States to the Bashars of Tunis and Tripoli, and I present to you the sincere acknowledgement and thanks of the United States for this important mark of your friendship for them. So, after he talks about the dissolution in 1788, so this is 1789. So in 1788 now, he's letting you know that the late government got dissolved. And we are the new government now, and we're called United States. Not United States of America, Republic. Which is what every government on this land was a republic. Like when I went to school, book said Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what school books said. They didn't just say Trinidad and Tobago only. It said Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. But this is a republic. And then Cuba's a republic, and Haiti's a republic, and everybody's trying to jack this land because the true heirs, who are the Moors, not the Phoenicians, not the ancient Egyptians, not the Olmecs, not the Washitas, not the whatever they call themselves. Ultimately, the indigenous people of this land had a government before the United States Corporation. And the relation between the United States of America Republic and the United States Corporation is Freemasonry. That's the connection. Because the Moors had to teach them government somehow. And the only way to teach them government was to take them to school and set up lodges. And then they go to the lodge and they learn. But all they're going to get is 33 degrees because their time's going to be up soon. So we don't need to give them everything. We'll let them have what they can have. And this is the reason why George Washington's writing the letter, because he was a Mason. And they understood that this side of the Atlantic is the Moroccan Empire. And the Moroccan Empire is the code word for Moroccan Empire in documents is United States of America Republic and indigenous or aboriginal. Like those are the code words on this side of the Atlantic. When you hear those words, aboriginal, indigenous, United States of America Republic, Moors, Moorish, Maghreb, certain different languages, you'll find out different words that relate to this side. That's older than stuff that they're finding in the so-called continent Africa. Because this land is the heartland of the whole Pangea. This is where everybody is running to right now. And history only repeats itself. So this is the same place that everybody was running to back then. Everybody's coming to North America.
It's still coming.
Everybody is coming here.
So Pangea was the whole planet?
Pangea was the whole planet. But the part of the planet that broke off because of the earthquake that created the Atlantic Ocean, right, is its own entity. It has its own Nile that flows backwards, just like on the continent. It has forests, lots of forests. It has lots of water because there's ice. There's lots of ice. All it has to do is melt and we drink it. And all of that is part of, when we talk about Alaska, places where people haven't been, that's part of the Moroccan Empire. This whole side. Another term is American. If you hear American, they're talking about the Moroccan Empire. Because American comes from Moroccan. Moroccan is American. Moroccan. a Moroccan is an American. And an American is an indigenous person of the Americas, which includes Barbados, Trinidad, Grenada, and all those guys around there, here and south of us, and north of us. So when people say that we have to get our land back because of slavery, foolishness. You have land you don't want to claim, and you want some land that some next people are fighting over. There's land that nobody's claiming. There's squatters all over the place. In every jurisdiction. People come here, squat, run up debt, and go back to where they came from. Because that's the fiat game. That's the government's or corporations game. That when they say United States, and you agree by not saying, hold on a second, when you say United States, do you mean United States of America Republic, or do you mean the United States, the corporation? That's owned by the Queen. Who's owned by the Pope? We greatly regret the hostile disposition of those regencies towards this nation who have never injured them. Is not to be removed on terms of our power to comply with. Within our territories there are no mines, whether of gold or silver, and this young nation, just recovering from the waste and disillusion of a long war, have not as yet had time to acquire riches by agriculture and commerce. But our soil is bountiful, and our people industrious, and we have reason to flatter ourselves that we shall gradually become useful to our friends. Okay, hold on a second. So, within your territories, there's no mines, there's no gold, there's no silver, there's no anything. It's just waste and disillusion because of a long war. But the soil is bountiful? How could the soil be bountiful when you just said that it's a wasteland? This is George Washington writing to the Sultan of Morocco. This is not what I'm saying. This is George Washington's words. Lying on the stand. Yeah. What was their territories that they're talking about that have no mines, whether or gold or silver, and the nation that's recovering is the corporation. It's not the land. So yes, the corporation's in debt. But they sidestepped it. They sidestepped being in debt by claiming the empire. Because they got the Moors out the way since 1492. And from 1492 until the United States of America Republic was founded with the Continental Congress, it was just a rampant madness was going on. These guys enslaving these guys taking their own people over here, these guys taking these guys on a ship going this place and that place. Just because they got greedy with their power. Everybody got greedy with their power. Masons are going crazy because they got the wealth of knowledge now. So now they can put a blind eye to the public by saying the United States and not saying the United States of America Republic. Which is why they always say democracy when they talk. And once they say democracy, they're talking about opposite of the republic. Which is the only government that is supposed to be exercising in this land. Republican form of government. And don't get the Republican form of government mixed up with Republican Democrat. Like, we're not talking about those guys. Those are separate corporate guys that have nothing to do with your government. That they made you abandon by having you think you're Negro, black, colored, and everything else that we call ourselves.